I have a problem. And that problem is, I absolutely love multicarts. Wasn't lying, was I? I do have quite the collection of multicarts, and I keep adding to it every day. Now this video is about a certain multicart that I found on eBay the other week. It came from France, and was something that I just never seen before. And it is this. It is the 16 function multicart. The seller had it advertised as untested and wasn't sure what system it went to. So I thought, why not buy it? So I purchased it, waited a little bit, came in the mail, and that's where we are now. To figure out just what it is, we're going to compare it with some of the other games in my collection. So I have a Super Famicom game here. I have Super Nintendo, NES. We have Famicom as well as N64. I don't have any Japanese ones, unfortunately, of this. So what we're going to do is, realistically, this is going to be a PAL region game. This did come from France, but we're going to see if we can compare the pinout on this, or the board on this, with all of these games. It should let us know what system it goes to. If we start off with the most obvious looking one, we can compare it. The shell is pretty close, well, in design at least, with an N64 game. So realistically, all we have to do is just put the two together, and you can see that the boards do not match. Moving a little bit back in time, we have this Super Famicom game. And as you can see, definitely have a lot more pins on that Super Famicom game than we have on this mystery cart. We have the Super Nintendo. Once again, if we compare it, it is drastically smaller, the Super Nintendo cart, than our mystery game. Next up, my favorite system of all time, the NES. Once again, we'll do our highly scientific method, and the NES board is considerably larger than what it is. For our last test, we'll take the good old Famicom. So the Japanese NES, and as you can see, it is very, very close. I believe what we have here, which I suspected, quite honestly all along, is a Famicom cart. And that cart has been put into one of these to make it look like a newer kind of game. Before I put this game cart in any of my systems, the first thing I want to do is clean this up, because I don't like to put dirty games into my consoles. So usually the way I do it is one of these. It's a one-up card, so the company, what they do is they make these video game cartridge cleaners where on one side you put fluid. I like to use this isopropyl alcohol, so it's 99%, extremely flammable. And what you do is you pour it onto the fluid side. You take that card and you put it in, if I could do this right now, and you just kind of like drag it back and forth across the pins, and you can do both sides, so you can clean both sides of it. Once that is done, you take the dry side. The dry side, you wipe it and it cleans the pins, so you just go use friction to clean it. And after that is done, this should be clean enough to test in one of my consoles. It is testing time. And what could we possibly use to test this game? Yep, you guessed right. If you said a family clone console with a soccer ball lid, broken power switch cover, but has all the pins that we need and fits the cartridge exactly, you win. Let's hook it up and see what happens. Oh, and don't forget that we're going to need a high-end controller to use with it too. Everything is plugged in right now. I can't show you the system because the makers of this very genuine console made the wires extremely short. I'm assuming to save some kind of money, but I can't show you that Ta-da, the controller is there. So the game is plugged into the top, so I'm going to press the power button in 3, 2, 1. Watery PC99, so maybe it has something to do with the computer. And, oh, it entirely stopped, so looks like it borked itself. I'm going to stop it. We're going to take the game out. Okay, give the old blow trick. And insert it again. 3, 2, 1. It is plugged in again. Again, I'm not pressing anything, by the way. So I'm not controlling this. And yeah, I don't know what that is. So I'm going to start button mashing. Nothing seems to be reacting. Give me a second. I'm going to go find another controller which should work with this. Another Famicom clone controller. Couldn't hurt. Take 2. So what I have here is another Famicom clone controller. This is from a much newer one, but I'm assuming that the pinout is pretty much the same, but we'll see. So it has turbo buttons like start, so it looks like an NES controller. Let's try it with this. So 3, 2, 1, and it boots. I've not pressed anything yet. And we're back to that math game. So I'm pressing select, start, up, down, left, right, top AB, bottom AB. Absolutely nothing. So I'm going to try it a few more times. I'm not going to show you this in the video because it'll probably bore you if I keep rebooting it. And we'll see if I can get it running. I'm defeated. I tried it at least a dozen times, tried plugging in the controller in the second controller port, tried flipping between the two. Nothing I did worked. So unfortunately, it looks like that's a dead end. However, I did find out some information when I looked up the name of it. So let me show you what I found. After a lot of searching online, I found a website which actually spoke about this game mildly, from Bootleg Game Central forums, I guess. So this apparently is a copy from a system or a game called the Aster PC95, which came out in 95. And apparently different versions of it have been dumped. I'm showing you a screenshot right now of the website. There's different translations all over the world, and apparently it came from the Genius Star Famiclone. So it is rebranded the Watery PC99. I have some gameplay footage as I was not able to get it working myself. I found somebody on YouTube, this small channel, that actually has some. So I'm going to see if I can put in a few seconds of some gameplay into this video. And there's the gameplay. I'm going to leave a link down below in the description, if I remember, for that person's channel so you can check out the whole video. I didn't want to show too much because, again, I didn't record it, but head on over to their channel after watching this video and take a look. It's pretty interesting what's on there. So that's what should be on this cart. Next, what I thought I'd do is I want to pop this open and we'll just take a look to see how old or how new is this Multicart. It popped open without much effort along the sides. Luckily, generally when I open Famicom carts, it's pretty much just a guessing game if you're going to break the tabs on the inside. So, place your bets now. Is this going to have a very old board inside or a very new board? 3, 2, or no board. Actually, it's on the other side. So, here is what runs the entire thing. Let's just move this out of the way, and as I suspected, sorry for all the noise by the way, blob chips. So we are not going to be able to find out what chips were used in making this. So there are some markings. I could look it up, but quite honestly, it's probably not going to get me anywhere. So they've hidden all 3 chips. One of them's definitely the game, and some are RAM. So unfortunately, we're not going to be able to find out just who made this because there is not much to it. Pretty impressive though that everything that was on that video fits on this cartridge. And that solves the mystery about what is on this multi-cart. Pretty cool, if I do say so myself. It's very unfortunate that I was not able to get this working. I'm not entirely sure why. It looked like, as you can see in some of that gameplay, there was like a typing test and all that, so the console came originally with more likely had some kind of attachment with a keyboard, and I don't have anything like that. So this will be added to the collection of multi-carts. It will have an area of high esteem among all my games. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.